Party Master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.
Today happens to be Monday, the 11th of October, 2021. Good morning to you and welcome to Up and Go, right here on The Bridge, 99 FM. This morning, guess who we've got on the program? At 7 o'clock this morning, our guest will be the president and founder of the United Independence Congress, the UIC Jamaica. And that's Mr. Joseph Patterson. He has been in the news a lot, leader of the Jamaica's newest political party. He'll be our guest at 7 o'clock this morning. We also speak with Dr. Melody Ennis, Director of Family Health Services within the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Dr. Ennis joins us at 7:30 this morning. And we focus on our friends at Taz Records at around about 8 o'clock. Stacy-Lee Thompson will in fact be our guest. She's the operations manager, distribution and client services at Taz Records. And we also have another stalwart member of the private sector, Mr. Cecil Foster, who will join us inside of the Global Connection. At around about 20, we'll have a chat with him. He's the managing director of Fosrich Company Limited. There's a lot to look forward to, a lot of great stories to carry and to share with you as we're here to get you up and on the go this beautiful Monday, the 11th of October. It's now time for headlines across the bridge. A canvass of several academic staff and students has revealed that there is a well-organized on-the-ground market in which students are charged up to $5,000 per page for essays, with third-party writing services even being advertised openly on social media. A graduate who was a tutor in recent years said that numerous persons have been approached by undergraduate and postgraduate students to write papers. That is a regular thing. I think the whole university knows about it. That is not new. I have been approached and I am not the only one. I know others who have actually done it, said the former tutor, who requested anonymity because of the stigma surrounding academic cheating. People are willing to pay anywhere between $1,000 and $5,000 per page, depending on the level, undergrad or postgrad. This is big business. Well, in response to growing concerns about exam cheating across UWI campuses, including at Mona in Jamaica, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles categorically denied the problem was wide-scale, charging that anomalies represented less than 1% of outcomes. These are highly offensive, inflammatory, and unprofessional allegations because they are not rooted in any factual evidence. To argue that the university is a cheater and has widespread student cheating is untrue, unethical, and is an unwarranted assault on the UWI and must be rejected, he said in a press statement. And from the Jamaica Observer, we have a story in relation to a fire that took place on the weekend at Facey Commodity at a warehouse that they own. $2 billion fire is the headline that the Jamaica Observer carries. Firefighters spent yesterday putting out the embers of a massive Saturday night fire that razed a large section of Facey Commodity's main warehouse in Kingston, and which has left billions of dollars in damage. I don't know the preliminary assessment of the damage, but what I can tell you is that the value of the goods is roughly $2 billion, with a B, $2 billion, Separate Group CEO Richard Pandohi told the newspaper. According to Pandohi, it is clear that everything, goods, equipment, offices, and building, was completely destroyed. Stating that approximately 1,000 people associated with the company would be affected, Pandohi said, "We will stand by our employees. Facey is more than a building. It is our people, the great brands that we have, and our customers. Come tomorrow, meaning today, our trucks will be rolling out with goods to our customers, and our people will be on the ground doing what they do best." He said the pharmaceutical division has not been impacted by the blaze, which occurred at a facility used for food storage and distribution. He also stressed that the division, which stores COVID-19 vaccines on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, had no vaccines for the last 3 weeks as they were all taken by the ministry. There will be no negative fallout to the health sector, said Richard Pandohi. And we hop over to the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands looks towards reopening border by year end. The government of the Cayman Islands is hoping that the borders of the territory will be reopened before the end of the year. According to Tourism Minister Kenneth Bryan, he's hoping that American Airlines could resume flights to Grand Cayman by Christmas. Speaking in an interview with the Cayman Compass, the tourism minister said that following a virtual meeting with officials from American Airlines, while they were excited and ready to return to service in Grand Cayman, they need at least 60 days' notice to initiate flight resumptions. According to Bryan, he spoke to the regional representatives of the airline who said they did not want to have to cancel flights. They added they would try to restart as soon as possible once an official announcement was made. And at 19 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock, we can share with you one more item, and this is in relation to the FBI sting operation, which netted a couple accused of trying to sell U.S. nuclear secrets. This is from North America. Following a year-long operation by undercover FBI agents, a Maryland couple has been arrested and charged with attempting to sell U.S. nuclear secrets to another country in exchange for cryptocurrency. U.S. Navy nuclear engineer Jonathan Tobel, who held a top-secret security clearance, and his wife Diana were arrested on Saturday in West Virginia by the FBI and Naval Criminal Investigative Service after the couple allegedly sold information concerning the design of nuclear-powered U.S. warships to a person they believed was a representative of a foreign power, but was actually an undercover FBI agent, according to a Department of Justice statement. And they are being thoroughly investigated, and I think they have a case to answer. That's all the time we have for you right now inside of our headlines across the bridge. All right, we give you a lot of lifestyle and entertainment. We give you business exclusives. We touch on the political scene. We cover the Jamaican diaspora. We've got some stories coming out of various places, out of England this morning, meaning the United Kingdom. We also have stories out of the United States of America and in general in the Jamaican diaspora. And you just have to keep it locked. By the way, good news that this morning the United Kingdom has lifted that ban pretty much on countries like Jamaica in terms of the citizens coming out of, or people coming from Jamaica and gaining acceptance into the United Kingdom. With all that's going on with the COVID-19, travel between the UK and dozens of destinations is now easier this morning after red list cut to just 7 countries. So what we're saying is it's only 7 countries that remain on the red list, because 47 nations, that would include Jamaica, were taken off the red list at 4 o'clock this morning. Well, it's now afternoon time in the United Kingdom, but anyone arriving from places including South Africa, Brazil, and Argentina into the United Kingdom no longer needs to quarantine in a hotel. And the 11-day quarantine would have cost somewhere in the region of £2,295. So this is a big relief, and we'll see a lot more persons heading back into the United Kingdom. In addition, advice against non-essential travel to a further 42 countries and territories has also been lifted. So the UK has done a whole revamping of their list. And as it is right now, the only companies that remain on their red list are Colombia, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Haiti, Panama, Peru, and Venezuela. Those are the countries that remain on the red list put out by the United Kingdom. And Jamaica will breathe a sigh of relief with that new development. It is the 11th day in the month of October, the morning when we understand that Merck will be applying to the FDA for emergency use of their new product, Molnupiravir. You still ask me what I just said? I said it and I'm only saying it once. Yes. They are applying this morning for FDA approval. They want the green light, and they say that this will definitely help in treating COVID-19. Right now, it's a minute after the hour of 7 o'clock, and we're moving on to some serious matters here on the local shores. As in fact, this gentleman has been in the news recently, and well, if you recall, on the 22nd of September. It was a Wednesday. He was, in fact, arrested for organizing a protest against the government and for his opposition to the possibility of the introduction of mandatory vaccination. He is, in fact, the president and founder of the newest political party here in Jamaica, the United Independence Congress, the UIC. And we're very pleased to have as our guest at this time, Mr. Joseph Patterson. Good morning, Mr. Patterson, and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite fine, Thank you so much.
All right. Joseph, I'd like to ask you right at the very start to tell us a little bit about your party. Things like, when was it formed? Who, what does your membership, what is it comprised of? And maybe some of the principles on which you stand at the UIC.
Sure. So we were formed officially on the 7th of December 2019 after about 10 months of battling with the Electoral Office of Jamaica, or Electoral Commission of Jamaica, because they really tried hard not to allow us to become a political party. So we did that. The basis of our party is the protection of the life, liberty, and property rights of all Jamaicans, and to do so equally, and to ensure that we have a system of governance that is non-partisan, constitutional, and republic, to protect the rights of Jamaicans and empower Jamaicans so that we have a country that brings out the best in all its people. So in a nutshell, that's who we are. In terms of our membership, I don't normally give out numbers, but as you would imagine, since my arrest on September 22nd, our membership has quadrupled, and our support both locally and internationally continues to grow.
That's interesting. Does that mean that you go out and seek another arrest?
No, it doesn't at all. I mean, we didn't expect that to happen, but it served as a catalyst because people felt as though the government was being very unreasonable. We had a peaceful protest. It's one of the best protests you'll ever see because there was no disorderly behavior until the police got involved. We weren't destroying property. We weren't blocking roads. We were simply walking from one end of Kingston to the other end, and at all times respecting the police. In fact, we invited them to be there and to walk with us if they so desire. But the government felt it necessary to send out a very large contingent. I was surprised because it meant that other areas of Jamaica would have been left without policing, while they spent a lot of resources on about 500 people just simply walking for their rights.
Mm-hmm. Were you roughed up in that process, or?
Absolutely, yes. I was pepper sprayed. I was pushed because the police they were very aggressive. I mean, it's as if they wanted us to get into some form of violent interaction with them. So they kept pushing us. They kept trying hard. And we're not pushing. We're not even pushing back. They simply, if we stand at one point, they move the barriers and push the barriers into us, just try to get us to react. You might have seen the video of when they arrested me. They even charged me with resisting arrest when I wasn't resisting at all. But they really roughed me up. I mean, from the time they took me to the vehicle and all the way to putting me in one of those very dirty cells, it was quite horrific. Their behavior was very demeaning, very rude, very aggressive. They showed no regard for my citizenship, for me being a decent human being. It's as if they came with a vendetta and they had a desire to hurt people and to just have a negative experience, as opposed to being respectful to all Jamaicans. And this is something that really concerns me because I've seen it for years. I've seen that many police officers just do not have any respect for the people of Jamaica.
Let me ask you, Joseph, in addition to resisting arrest, weren't there some other charges that you now have to face?
Absolutely. They charged me for breaching the Public Order Act by marching without a permit, they say. And they also charged me for breaching the DRMA, for having a gathering and not wearing a mask or something like that. Mm-hmm. So basically they're saying that, I broke the law, and for that they arrested me and 3 other young persons out of a group of some 500 persons.
Mm-hmm. I know you have your battery of lawyers, but what do you think the final outcome might be? Do you think you might have to pay a fine?
No, I suspect that we're going to win this battle in the Constitutional Court. We're going to prove that the DRMA is unconstitutional, and so is the section of the Public Order Act under which I was charged. Both of them are unconstitutional and fly in the face of our charter rights.
In hindsight, do you think that if you'd like to organize something like this in the future, you might want to get the approval of the authorities, or you think you might not get the approval even if you applied?
Well, they themselves published that no request was made and no application would have been approved, which is not true. We actually did send them 2 emails, one weeks before, where we told them what's happening and asked if they would grant a permit for that. That was done by my office as a precautionary measure. Prior to that, though, or prior to the day, we sent them another message to tell them what we're doing and where we will be going and all of that, so that they're fully informed. My position personally is that we don't need to ask for a permit to walk in our own country. As long as you're not going to do anything which is, contrary to the rights of people to their lives, liberty, and property rights. You're not going to harm anybody. You're not going to destroy any property. You're not going to violate anybody's rights. Then you should be free to walk in your own country and free to open your mouth and say you disagree with what government is doing. The moment we lose that is the moment we lose what we think is freedom.
So you don't see it as a breach of the DRMA, which specifies that there should be no gathering of above certain numbers and so on?
No, it is a breach of the DRMA, and we have a right to breach it because the DRMA is unconstitutional.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a whole nother argument there, Mr. Patterson. But you would be aware that there are some people who are saying that this might just have been a political tactic and not necessarily done out of genuine concern for the rights of the Jamaican people, that protest that you organized. What would you say to those naysayers?
Well, it's normal, in politics you expect anything. I mean, I've been called many things. I've been at this now for several years. I returned to Jamaica in 2011, and 2 years after that, I started working on the UIC, and I've met many naysayers. If you look at our what we've been saying from then until now, you would think that we actually prepared for this crisis, because we have always been saying that we need a system of governance that truly protects the rights of Jamaicans. And as it is, and as the government has proven, they have not protected the Constitution we have today, and the laws and the structures that we have doesn't adequately protect Jamaicans from people like the Prime Minister who may choose to become dictatorial.
What is the plan of action for the UIC should the government call for mandatory vaccination?
Well, we're going to oppose the government vigorously on any attempts to further mandate the substance that they call a vaccination, because, you see, it's already mandated. Just ask the people who are going to work today who are fearful because they've been told that they can't continue to come here unless they take this substance into their bodies. So for them, it's already mandated. For the thousands of students who are out of school and those who are being told that they can't come to school unless they receive this substance, for them, it's already mandated. So the mandate is here. The Prime Minister is only going to further enforce that and is going to seek further avenues to make it difficult, if not impossible, for Jamaicans who do not wish to take this substance to be able to function in society. Their goal has always been to pressure, to force, to make painful, to make difficult the lives of Jamaicans who do not wish to take this substance. It is cruel and inhumane, and the Prime Minister is committing treason.
Treason?
Yes.
Oh, right. All right. If you just joined us, we're talking here with Joseph Patterson, president and founder of the United Independence Congress, Jamaica's newest political party. Some would say I'm asking you a redundant question, but I will. Have you taken the vaccine, and if not, why not?
No, I've not taken the vaccine, and I don't intend to. I have no confidence in that particular substance, just by the way that they have sought to roll it out, both internationally and locally. Whenever you're going to tell people that they have a choice, but you're going to take away their freedom of speech, and you're going to take away their freedom of movement, and you're going to also seek to take away their freedom of choice to force them to take a product, no one in their right mind would want to trust such a product. We take many products in our lifetime, but one of the key part of all of those products is that they're not forced on us. and we don't find a situation where globally and locally there's a blocking out of dissent, a blocking out of other views and ideas. You cannot have a democracy, you cannot have a free society unless we're allowed to hear from each other, allowed to freely speak. And people are being censored. Doctors, scientists, brilliant people who know more than you and me about these kind of new technology that they're bringing into inject into people, who would like to share their thoughts and ideas with us, but are being blocked on a very massive scale by big data, big pharma, and big government colluding to block out the voices of others who have dissenting views. No, I could never trust such a product. It doesn't mean the product may not be good. It could very well be a great product. But I believe that it's very important that we have a true free society that allows us to hear from each other, hear the bad and the good. There might be some very good thing about this particular product, and there might be some disastrous, very bad things that we don't know. For example, we do not have long-term data studies that would tell us what's going to happen when we take this substance 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We've also seen that they've given us various promises. They told us, take this and you'll go back to normal. Then we hear, nope, take it and you can still get the infection and you can still pass it on. They tell us mask isn't good. Oh, mask is good. It's been so uncertain and so fluid, but yet still they're telling us to follow the science. When in fact, all I can see is if I follow the money, I see what's really happening. It's the money that's driving this. It's not so much the science or the interest of the lives and livelihoods of Jamaicans or people around the world.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any of your members who either contracted the disease or died as a result of COVID-19?
I have heard from members who have contracted the disease. At least they were diagnosed as such. I've not heard of any who have died of the disease, but I've had friends and family members who have brushed closely with death as a result of being told that they were diagnosed with this particular disease.
Okay. Let me ask you, Joseph Patterson, what would you have done differently if the United Independence Congress, UIC, was in power right now during this pandemic?
A very good question. First of all, I published on my Facebook page very early in the process of the Prime Minister that the number one thing he has to avoid doing is making this a political event. It needed to be a non-partisan, non-political, national Jamaica people response situation. So I said, treat this like a war. You want to set up, first of all, a public emergency council and have representation on this council of every single registered political party in Jamaica. And together with them, make sure we have the best and brightest mind from science, medicine, technology, law, and so on this council. And then you want to make it as objective, transparent, and inclusive as possible so that when we provide information to the Jamaican people, it is not partisan, it is not political, it's not you being a bro god and trying to be a don and say, look for me, run things. It is the Jamaican people together, working hand in hand in response to a serious danger and risk to the country. And then through that process, you want to make sure that the Jamaican people have access to all possible medical treatment instead of what the Prime Minister did was to focus the nation on a single silver bullet solution and leaving people to die, to go home and die until a so-called vaccine is available. And also blocking from the Jamaican people other solutions such as ivermectin, which could have helped a number of persons survive this attack on their immune system and having early treatment. There have been wise up politicians and leaders around the world, of course, against much pressure, who have chosen to give their citizens proper information, clarity, and packages that allow them to, in their homes, respond to this disease successfully without ever having to go to the hospital. But we have a Prime Minister that is pig-headed, very focused on one agenda, and is behaving like a pharmaceutical salesman instead of a commander-in-chief, a leader of a nation who cares about the interests of the people. Instead, he has locked down the Jamaican people, knowing that we don't have the kind of internet infrastructure for online learning, for online shopping. He has locked down our small businesses, crushed our small communities, while giving big business access, allowing poor to come into our country and enjoy themselves, while punishing the Jamaican people. I mean, the fella is just really cruel and inhumane for somebody who's supposed to be a leader, who must understand the issues in his own country, understand the uniqueness of Jamaica in terms of our economic and our social nuances, Instead, he has just overlooked those and become a parrot and a puppet for his foreign masters and apply a cut and paste approach to the situation in Jamaica. He has really hurt the Jamaican people.
Have you tried to have a sit down with the Prime Minister, or you didn't see that necessary?
Well, I wrote to the Prime Minister early in January, giving him some key questions. I asked some key questions that would have helped him to see, even if he doesn't want to talk to me, just the questions alone I wrote to him would have helped him to think and see. Not even a courtesy of a reply was sent back to me from January.
What's next for the UIC? Should an election be called in the near future? Is it the plan to contest the next general election?
We're going to contest every election. We're going to contest the local government election, all 228 seats. Hopefully, we're currently interviewing a whole host of candidates. We have a lot of new candidates now. And we're also going to have 63 contestants for the general elections. We're going to be ready because the Jamaican people need real leadership, not a puppet, not a parrot, not somebody who's a pharmaceutical salesman.
I hear you loud and clear. Joseph Patterson, I have to ask, are you related in any way to a former prime minister of this country?
Not as far as I know. We share the same name and probably the same slave master.
All right. Great talking with you. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care.
All the best. Bye-bye. Okay, well, that was the first time we're getting a chance to speak with the president of the UIC, Mr. James Patterson. Not everybody's going to be pleased with all of the deliberations and what he had to say, but it is what it is. We give all of the parties and their representatives opportunities to speak to us and to state their stance on issues and stuff like that. So it's the first time we're getting a chance to speak with James Patterson. What are your thoughts on that? Let us hear from you. Did he upset you? Did he rub you the wrong way? Are you in agreement with what he said? Send us a WhatsApp message, even a voice note, 876-551-5782. Earlier on, I was making the point that Merck, the company in the United States, is applying for emergency use of their new antiviral pill. And I don't know if it's a case where Jody didn't quite hear what I said or what, but she was laughing her head off, and still is every time she sees me attempting to manage or even master this word. Richie, you can sit. The product, the pill, is actually called molnupiravir. Okay? It might not have come out sounding like that earlier. But let's just say that is what I was trying to say. So, with a little bit more rehearsal, I think although albeit in fairly slow motion, I think I kind of nailed it a while ago. So it's molnupiravir. That's the drug, the pill that Merck, the company, is trying to get a green light on, because they say it has some good properties that will help them to treat coronavirus cases. Thank you to our bridge builders. Those are our advertisers who use us as a medium to spread their word right across Jamaica and around the world. Thank you so very much. It's now 7:30 a.m. today, Monday, the 11th of October. And we're very pleased to have joining us at this time from the Ministry of Health and Wellness here in Jamaica, Dr. Melody Ennis, who is the Director of Family Health Services within the ministry. Good morning, Dr. Ennis. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well also. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Dr. Ennis. And I saw recently where there is a new thrust, Dr. Ennis, to have some 1 million persons vaccinated, I think, by December. Let me ask you, how does the Ministry of Health plan to achieve this goal?
Well, we plan to achieve same through improved access of our vaccines across the island. So we have several strategies in place. We have our fixed sites, which are just about 60 spread across the island, or health centers primarily, offering both the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We have the private sector vaccine initiative that goes out into private sector companies offering the vaccine. We have our rapid response team that goes into ministries, departments, and agencies and pretty much anyone that contacts us. We also have our mobile bus that pops up into various communities across the island vaccinating. We have also moved into smaller private sector entities offering the vaccines. We started about a week and a half ago with private hospitals as well as other private institutions offering the vaccine. So with our increased access, we believe this target is within reach.
You think it is achievable by December, you said?
Well, it is, because we are currently at 836,000 plus persons being vaccinated. So we are trying to do 160 plus thousand until that deadline. I believe that's way within reach. We can just continue to encourage persons to come out to get inoculated. Getting that target is not really for the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It is really for the population as we seek to get to herd immunity.
Dr. Ennis, several persons would have received their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine and are waiting for their next shot. These people would have taken their first shot more than 6 weeks ago in some instances. How does the ministry plan to deal with this situation?
So the ministry continues to have dialogue with the external partners that have promised, as well as those that we have committed to purchase from, to get in the Pfizer here in country as quickly as possible. But we really need to reassure the population that persons who received the Pfizer vaccine, there is no untoward effect, there is no challenge that they will have if they get the vaccine up to or even beyond 12 weeks of the first dose.
Up to 12 weeks, you said, right?
Or even beyond. So there is a 12-week point, but after that, the recommendation is still just to give the second dose as quickly as possible. There is absolutely no need to restart this series.
Okay. Let's look at the mobile vaccination initiative a little bit more. You've taken that to communities across Jamaica. How is that going?
It is going. We are doing our part as best we can, but I must say I am just a wee bit disappointed in the turnout in some of the areas. For example, we have been to Clarendon. Clarendon has had quite a bit. We went to Mason River, Mitchelltown, Portland Cottage. There is somewhere else. Portland Cottage. There's another one. Rocky Point.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't get, we just maybe got 200 persons in all those areas. And I believe it was well advertised. The political directorate partnered with us. I know that, on my way to those areas, I didn't know where I was going, so I had to be asking. And as I drove along, everybody could tell me, "Oh, you're going to where them giving the vaccine today." So, persons were aware, but still the turnout was modest.
Okay. Well, do you have more stops coming up, I suspect? You can always highlight them if you care to.
There are more stops coming up across the island. We are asking persons to visit our website,
yes.
www.moh.gov.jm. Also, they can visit our new website that is dedicated to vaccines, which is vaccination.moh.gov.jm, to get all the sites that are going to be open over this week into next week.
I came across a list recently, Dr. Ennis, that had Jamaica second to last on a list of Caribbean countries in terms of the overall vaccination of the population. Do you believe, with all the hesitancy that's going on, that there might be a move towards mandatory vaccination? And if so, do you think that would be a wise call by the government?
I believe that we are steadily vaccinating the population. We had a target in September, and that target was exceeded. We don't hear much fanfare about it, but we had exceeded that target by almost 100,000 persons. So I do believe that if we make our target of 1 million, that would be a third of the population. So we are getting there. There may be hesitancy, but persons are still just craving for information. With regards to making the vaccines mandatory, that is a collective decision of all government entities. And if such a decision is made, if and when, then I am sure the nation will be advised.
Okay. We note that some vaccines had to be discarded recently because the date of expiry had crept upon us. What can you tell us in terms of quantities that have near dates to expiration, and also additional supplies that we might be getting here in Jamaica?
So we have vaccines in stock that will expire on the 31st of this month. Mm-hmm. The amount that we have is excess. I don't have the figure as we speak, but it's about 200,000 plus. Mm-hmm. But then when we look at the number of persons that have a date in their vaccination card of the 10th of October or before, that is a significant number of persons. Some would are now due and some would have missed, as well as persons to come out for first doses. With all our access points, I believe if we all do the right thing and come out and get vaccinated, we should not have any wastage.
And as for additional supplies?
Additional supplies, we are asking for them to be delivered in country in tranches. So we do have another set of vaccines that will expire at the end of November, at the end of December. And for those coming, we are pushing for an expiration date at the end of January. So we'll have a constant stream of vaccines, AstraZeneca in particular, to inoculate. For Johnson & Johnson, that continues to come in tranches as well. But Johnson & Johnson is stored at -20 degrees, have a long half-life into May of 2023.
Okay. Dr. Ennis, as we get close to the end of this segment, some are of the view that it was an error for the ministry to have offered the Pfizer vaccine to adults, and that instead that brand should have been reserved for children only. Did this approach increase the hesitancy in adults and cause a slower uptake of the AstraZeneca vaccine?
Well, our aim has always been to vaccinate the most vulnerable in the population, those that will not do well if they get COVID-19. And that has been aligned to international recommendations. We were also aware that the Pfizer vaccine could only be given to children, and we took that into consideration in making the decision to offer the vaccine. Now, we also recognize that there was an increase in the numbers of persons wanting to be vaccinated, which would take us closer to our goal of 65%. We now know that when the second batch or other batches of Pfizer come into country, we will be offering it for second dose and for children only. So, what happened occurred, and as we move forward, our focus will be on children, and once we have completed that population, then I'm sure possible revision of the status will be made known.
Okay. And finally, what you want to leave with the listeners this morning, Dr. Ennis?
I want to encourage everyone to remain safe. We must not be too fatigued. We've got to maintain that physical distance. We must hand wash, hand sanitize. We must wear the mask properly in order to reduce spread. And we must come out and get vaccinated. AstraZeneca 2-dose vaccine is available. If you have the 11th of October in your card or any date before that, please come out today for your second dose. If you are just sitting on the fence, please come out for your first dose. If you're too afraid of the needle, just come and get the one jab, Johnson & Johnson.
All right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Melody Ennis. Always a pleasure talking with you. I wish you a wonderful day today. Thank you.
The very same to you and your listeners. Bye-bye.
Much appreciated, Doc. Good morning, Stacy-Lee Thompson.
Good morning, Richie B. Sound great.
I couldn't help myself, Stacy. And I'm sure that there are many others who are saying the same thing right now.
Absolutely.
You have another winner on your hands. You know that, don't you?
Oh, we feel it. The response has been tremendous so far.
When did this product, Through It All, the latest from George Nooks, distributed by Taz Record, when was it released officially?
Well, the album was released on October 1st, 2021. That's 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in the making, especially in the climate of the pandemic. It was just fitting. We couldn't hold this one in the vault. We had to just push it out.
It is timed well. So the traction that you're getting now, would you say it is mostly Jamaica and the Caribbean or also in the wider world?
Oh, no, definitely the wider world, the diaspora, and even persons who are just really lovers of reggae music. It resonates with all of them. And so it doesn't matter where you are from, your culture, or what even the genre of music that you are inclined to. Because of the message that comes from this album, it draws in everyone.
Mm-hmm. The connection between Taz Records and George Nooks seems to go back quite a while. Tell us how it all started, if you will.
Well, George and Tad Dawkins Sr. met in the 1980s in New York at Philip Smart's recording studio in Long Island. At that time, we had our record store in Bronx, New York. And the relationship just started casually. Hails and, hi when I see you. That was it. But we had heard George, doing his tributes to Dennis Brown. And it so happened that in the early 2000s when Dennis passed, we were looking to put out a tribute album for one of the first voices of Taz Records.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were looking for that voice to really bring out the music, it was no question about who we wanted to do it. We wanted George Nooks to be the one to really give that tribute on behalf of Taz Record. He looked up to Dennis Brown as a mentor, and so we thought it was a perfect fit. And it led to the release of the George Nooks Sings Dennis Brown album in 2005.
Yes. And the relationship has blossomed to where you are now. But even today, or in October 2021, why a gospel album and not, say, a lovers rock album from George Nooks?
Well, after his tribute to Dennis Brown, Taz Records released a Diamond Series Blue album in 2008 by George Nooks, which featured his biggest and most popular reggae hits up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
However, George has continued to develop and mature as an artist and an individual, and we at Taz, we basically took that journey with him.
Mm-hmm.
His belief in God has taken center stage in his life, despite stumbling blocks that have presented themselves over the years.
Yes.
His commitment and reliance on God is evident and a testimony of his faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so he shows extraordinary talent and resilience in both gospel and reggae. So regardless of which genre he chooses, he bellows out that powerful song with powerful voice, which strikes gold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stacy, it's not often that we get an album where like every song on the album we just love. And you all have managed to get us into that kind of space with this project. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Richie.
What's next for Taz Records and for George Nooks, if you please?
Well, we are definitely working on bigger and better things. I don't know how we can get better than this. But his next album we have slated for release around summer 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lovers, roots, rockin' reggae album which is something the music world is definitely going to enjoy. 50% of the album is already recorded.
Wow.
And we're always working at Tad's Record Studio here in Jamaica, so look out. George Nooks has so much more to give to the world. But until then, you have to grab your copy or download through it all. You will not be disappointed.
And by the way, did you mean next year, meaning 2022?
No, 2023.
Okay.
So we have to give through it all. It's fine.
All right.
To gain all the support and traction that it can. So we're kind of spacing out the release of
I got you loud and clear. Now, where can people actually get the album?
Well, the album is available in all major record and music stores worldwide as a physical CD. We also have the album digitally on all digital platforms worldwide, whether Apple, Spotify, Google, it doesn't matter. Amazon, go get it. It's there. Whatever format you need it in, it's available.
Mm-hmm. And outside of collaborating with George Nooks, are there any other new releases that you have that you might like to mention?
Of course there are others, but Richie, we're going to keep you guys waiting and wondering. The pot is stirring right here at our recording studio in Kingston, but we're going to keep that a secret. Maybe the next time I speak to you, I might share that with you.
All right. But Christmas is around the corner. You will have some of those, what will be re-releases of Christmas projects? Or?
Oh, yes, definitely. Last year, Christmas, we did Nyabingi Christmas, which was Ian Fraser's Nyabingi album. Beautiful album. That album got a lot of traction as well, and we'll be pushing it again for the Christmas season this year.
Mm-hmm. All right. And for persons who want to hop onto your website, where can you be found?
Okay, so our website is www.tadsrecord.com. You can also find us on social media, Instagram and Twitter, we're Tads Record. On Facebook, we're Tads Record Inc. And of course, you can always go onto our YouTube channel, Tads Record, where you will get a little tips of every release. We try to give little tips there as well. So go and listen. Our music is there, and it is great to support Jamaican reggae music. So please listen.
Thank you, Stacy-Lee Thompson. Great talking with you. We're proud of what you all are doing over there at Tads Record. Continue to keep on keeping on and keep on giving us these great songs. Take care. Have a great day, and give my regards to the crew, all right?
Thank you for having us, Richie.
Always a pleasure, Stacy-Lee. Coming out of the United Kingdom, Prince Andrew, according to what the Met Police are saying, they are taking no further action after reviewing sexual assault claims against the Duke of York. So the Metropolitan Police is taking no further action after reviewing allegations connected to Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. The force had assessed a document released in August 2021 as part of Virginia Giuffre's U.S. lawsuit against the Duke of York. And she was suing Prince Andrew for allegedly sexually assaulting her when she was a teenager, allegations which he has denied. She claims she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew in London in 2001 after being trafficked to the UK by the Duke's former friend, Jeffrey Epstein. She was 17 years old at the time and a minor under U.S. law. Well, interestingly enough, the lady at the Metropolitan Police Commissioner's office, her name is... that's her name? Really? I'm just seeing this. Her name is actually Dame Cressida Dick. I didn't realize that she was the one actually. I didn't realize she was the one that actually had the task of investigating this matter. I better leave it alone. It's 28 minutes after 8 o'clock. Right now, what is on the agenda? It's time for our giveaway. Hard cold cash being given away right now inside of what we call the Secret Sound game. It's new and it's exciting, and it's the only game of its kind in Jamaica and the region where you can win loads of cash with two currencies. We're talking about Jamaican dollars, but I almost said more importantly, US dollars as well. So we started the jackpot at $99 US right here on Bridge 99 FM. Friday morning, I was getting ready for the game when my director, Bobby Clark, called me up and says, "Hey, Richie, you know something? I feel kind of generous today. Why not double that amount? And he says, listen, go ahead and try to give away $99 times 2, which is $198 US. Well, we tried on Friday, but we were not lucky. In fact, you were not lucky. But you do have a chance to redeem yourselves now by calling us on 876-676-4996. That's 876-676-4996. We ask you to load up our phone lines right now if you'd like to win this money. Remember, it's US dollars, 198 of it. And then, on the Jamaican side, it has been going up by $99 Jamaican every morning that we've not had a winner so far. We're now at 5 times $99 Jamaican. Telephone number once again, 876-676-4996. All right, this is the sound that you must identify specifically. Check it out. What sound is that? That's all we're asking you. Give us a call right now, 876-676-4996. And you can win all the money that you hear us talking about, which is 2 times $99 US equals $198 US, and 5 times $99 US, which is like another batch of cash. So, let's get our call up in here right now. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I am good, and you?
I'm doing well. How are you? How was your weekend?
Great.
Okay, who's calling?
Allison.
Allison. Where are you calling from, Allison?
Calling from Kingston, Jamaica.
All right. Do you spell your name with 2 L's?
2 L's.
All right. So it's Allison.
Yes.
Are you already on the job or are you heading there?
I am actually in the parking lot waiting to go in.
Oh, you're just waiting until you win the money before you go in, right?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Something kind of like that.
Can you imagine the smile that's going to be on her face if she should win this morning? All right.
I hope so.
Good luck to you, Allison. You've heard the sound, or do you want to hear it again?
No, I've heard the sound.
All right. You've heard it several times. Now we ask you to specifically tell us exactly what that sound is. Persons, I'm not giving away any clues, but there are persons who have been really thinking, but they have not nailed it. So here's your opportunity. Allison, what sound did you hear?
I heard the sound of a door creaking. That's what I hear.
You know something? We have not had that answer before. Are you New Kingston?
No, Spanish Town Road.
Spanish Town Road. Not near where the fire was at Facey? Not near there?
I guess it's relatively near.
Okay, when you check it out, all right.
Yes.
Well, listen, you have given us an answer that we're getting for the first time. Promise me that if you're correct, you'll scream so loud that persons at Carnation Market can hear you from where you are.
Possibly the airport, I don't know.
Possibly the airport. That means you have a strong scream. Well, listen, are you sticking with that answer, Allison?
Yes.
You're not changing anything about it?
No.
Let me ask you for the final time, what sound did you hear?
It's the sound of a door creaking.
She says it's the sound of a door creaking. Allison, you are wrong, baby.
Oh,
my goodness. I'm so sorry.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, Allison, but thank you for participating. We love you. Oh, boy. Give me that sound again. She was so sweet, I felt like actually declaring her a winner, but so she's wrong. What sound is that? What sound is that, my people? Oh boy, I didn't realize it would have taken us this long to give away this money. $198 US in the jackpot. And you know what? We also have 5 times $99 Jamaican. You know what the answer is, right? Don't say it.
Indeed. Indeed.
Oh boy. What sound is it that you're hearing in the secret sound game? Let's take another call right now. Good morning, you're on the air. This is The Bridge 99 FM. And we're giving away multiples of $99 in US and Jamaican currency. What's your name? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, this is Yasmin trying again, Sir Richie.
Yasmin.
Yes.
You said you're in Kingston 3?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. You tried last week, and after the build-up, it was a letdown because your answer was wrong.
Oh, yes, sir. It was.
So you did some work on the weekend, and you're ready to win this money?
I'm going to try.
All right, Yasmin.
boy.
You don't want to hear the secret sound again, or you're good?
Yes. Give it to me again.
All right, she wants it one more time, so we're going to oblige. Check it out. Yasmin. Yasmin,
Right,
it's
sir.
your
I'm
turn
gonna
to
try
win the
with
money.
The cracking sound of a large tree. I don't know, maybe in a forest.
Hold
About
on.
3/4 way. It's in the process of falling.
Hold on.
Hello?
Sorry, we want you to specifically describe the sound that you're hearing.
And I'm saying a cracking sound, probably of a large tree, cut 3/4 way. It's in the process of falling to the floor.
That's interesting. People have talked about trees before, right?
Yes, sir.
We had one person saying it was two bamboo trees rubbing against each other,
Yes, sir.
swaying in the wind and stuff like that. Persons continue to mention stuff to do with trees, but you are taking it to another level this morning. And let me just get the answer that you said a while ago. What did you say?
Okay, I'm saying it's a cracking sound of a large tree. Maybe it cut 3/4 way. It's in the process of falling to the floor.
Hold on, let me hear the sound again, DJ Audley. Let's see what Yasmin is up to here. Yasmin,
Yes, sir.
you're in Kingston 3.
Oh, no. Lord, Richie B, I know you know.
You've tried before. You worked it
Yes,
on the
sir.
weekend. You came with a different answer today.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize how much money we're giving away, Yasmin?
Well,
We're up to 5 times $99 Jamaican. But if that doesn't mean a lot to you, we also are up 2 times the $99 US, which means we are at $198 US dollars. Because our boss last Friday said, listen, double the $99 in the jackpot here on Bridge 99 FM.
Happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Clark.
Yasmin, we have
Yes, sir.
heard your answer. Do you want to tweak it or even creak it?
Richie, I've experienced today. You will build up my hopes and then bring me down back. I mean, know you.
Me? Do you want
can certainly interact with your
do you want to tweak it or you
your
want
listeners.
you want to stick with that answer? Is that the final answer, Yasmin?
Yes, I want to tell you, if I got it wrong, I don't think I would be the one winning it.
You're not going to change anything about your answer, right?
No, sir, I'm not.
All right. You know something?
Yes, sir.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
What?
And Yasmin is wondering if she's the lucky person. Well,
Richie!
all I can tell you, without building you up,
Yes, sir.
I just have to tell you that this morning with that answer,
Oh, no.
you might want to say, oh yeah, because you are a winner! Yasmin, you are a winner, baby!
Oh, my Lord, Richie. On the anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Clark. That's a good feeling.
It must be a good feeling.
Yes, 2 good days.
Congratulations to you, Yasmin.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, the Bridge 99 FM.